you back. What you are known for is holding you back. So it is another episode of this teaching in the March Mindfulness Series of you are being held back by what you are known for. So what am I referring to? What am I talking about? Okay. So you could be known for being a father, working a 9-to-5, playing football in high school, having 2 children and a dog, and you drink beer on the weekend, and like that's what you do, right? You could be known for being a single woman in your 50s, working a 9-to-5, never had children, never been married, okay? You could be known for being a young man who's 28, who doesn't have a 9-to-5, never went to college, and just kind of is trying to be a rapper, right? So most of the time, you aren't willing to step outside of the box because you are comfortable being known for what you're known for. So if you find yourself saying, by the way, guys, I just got out of working out. Usually I'm on the way working out, and so I look like I worked out. So just kind of excuse that. Also excuse the water bottles and the basket in the back. I am on the way to go pick up some nice, healthy, clean water from this water shop. I might actually take you guys inside with me, but on this teaching today, during March Mindfulness Month, look at all the kids. Oh, how cute. I think they're on a field trip. So cute. Okay, so we're going to dive deep this month. We're hammering out the mind and getting rid of the limitations all month. And we're going to be hitting it from several angles, okay? And so a lot of times, like, what are you known for? Like, let me know in the chat right now. Go ahead and, 2 or 3 of you, go ahead and give me what you're known for. When people think of you, what are you known for? When people think of you, hello. When people think of you, what are you known for? So I'll just to start it off, what I'll do is I'll say what I'm known for. So if someone were to, say, oh, do you know Ciana? Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't met her yet. How, like, what's she like? People would probably say, oh, she's really into health. She's really into fitness. She's like really spiritual. She's kind. She's a little goofy. She's funny. And she will work events around LA, right? So let's just say, because people know me for that, okay? Because people know me for that, right? People know you for your humor, okay? So because people know me for being into health and fitness, right? Say all of a sudden I was like, I want to become an actress. Like all of a sudden I announced to all of you, hey, I am on the way to acting class and I am excited to go on this journey of becoming an actress. Most people are gonna laugh. Some other people are gonna kind of turn their nose up like, really? Some people are gonna be like, good luck, kind of like the backhanded compliment, like, oh, well, good luck with that. I'm happy you're going for your dreams, right? And then there's going to be a tiny percentage that's like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. You're evolving. You're embodying your next pursuit. Like, I'm so excited for you, right? But you guys, most of the time, we will not go that far out of our comfort zone because of what we're known for. So how many of us can admit that there's something that we really want to do? There's something that we really want to go after. There is a goal that we really know that we can achieve. It's not even if we can, we know we can. We have the passion, we have the interest. We're like, okay, if I just go to this singing class, I know after like 10 singing sessions, I'll be able to start, creating my own song. I just know it. I can feel it inside of me. But because you're known for being a FedEx worker, because you're known for being an administrative worker, because you're known for teaching fourth graders, like you won't go outside of what you're known for. So, because it's almost like you have to imagine what people are then going to start saying. right? Oh, why are you doing that? You're a 4th grade teacher. Like, what? Like, you're fine. You have benefits. Like, how many times and let's be honest, maybe some of us have said that too. I have not said this. I know that's why I probably shouldn't include myself, because I know I have not said this, but how many people on this live have honestly said, oh, maybe you should just like stick with what you know because you have good benefits? Let's be honest, how many people have told us that? And then maybe some of us have maybe said it to people, like as soon as they were like, well, I really want to kind of go into this industry, or I really want to try this out, or I really want to quit my job and do this. And then you either hear, well, you have really good benefits and like a 401k, like what are you doing? Right? So, and then what that does is it just slaps us back down to reality, right? So, and I'm going to read your guys' stuff in a second, or when I get to like a stop sign or a red light, I'll be able to read a couple comments. If I do miss a question, just keep, I'm going to park soon, but just retype the question and I'm happy to answer it. So how many times does that happen, right? So the point of this live is to shake you out of what other people know you for. That doesn't mean that's who you are ultimately. That's just what they know you for during this particular season of your life, right? So, like, for example, someone can run into me now. Oh, actually, this happened. I went to a random gym, same brand of a gym, but in a different location in LA. I went to the gym. This girl goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm in the bathroom and I'm just like fixing my hair, and she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, are you Ciana? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. She's like, you used to be my manager 15 years ago. She's like, you used to be my manager 15 years ago. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I know your face. I don't remember, I was honest. I was like, I don't remember your name, but I remember your face. And I was like, out in Rancho Cucamonga, right? And she's like, yes. So now she has no idea that I have worked luxury events in LA. She doesn't know that I threw a gal. She doesn't know that I have an online, she has no idea that I have a YouTube channel. She has no idea that I am a life coach. I'm a purpose life facilitator. I'm a motivator. I'm an inspirer. I'm a leader. I'm the steward of this channel. She has no idea. She just remembers me when she was 20 years old, 21 years old, and knowing me as her manager, right? It was her first job, like her first like full-time job. And she's remembering me. I was actually the manager of her manager, right? Like I was a district manager at the time. So she's like, looking at me, because she remembers me being like in a high leadership position compared to her. So the way she's operating, I'm like, oh, like, what's up, girl? Like, how's it going? But at that time, she was a manager in training and I was a district manager. So we wouldn't have been able to have that like relaxed kind of conversation, right? So like having the conversation of like, oh, what's up, girl? How you been? How's life? Like when you have a manager and a district manager type of relationship, it's very professional, right? Especially when you're like upper level management and they're just beginning. So I say all that to say, if I were to tell her, right, at the time, you know what, in the future, I really imagine myself to have like a YouTube channel. By the way, YouTube didn't even exist like how it does now 15 years ago. But, I just imagine myself helping people. I imagine myself making money online. I don't know how I'm going to do it. She would have looked at me and been like, I think you should just keep your district manager job, right? Because that's what I was known for through her perspective. So people from college, same thing. They knew me as someone that had a normal, 9-to-5 type of job. Or actually, most people in college knew me as someone that was a waitress. So maybe they would imagine me to be like a manager of a restaurant now, right? Like, oh, you don't work in the serving industry anymore? You don't work in the food industry anymore? Because that's how they met me. They met me in a season where I was a server, right? It fit really well with my schooling, right? Like I could pick up shifts. Like you guys know, if anyone's ever been a server, it's really easy to be a server when you're in college. So I say all that to say, what is it for you? Like, yeah, you're known for, Or it could be even worse than that. So let me give you another example. So there could be something where like you're in between seasons, right? Like you don't have a job. Maybe you're living off of your savings, and maybe you're just really struggling mentally, physically, like you're just down right now. Like you are just trying to figure out your life. You don't know who you are. And you can end up, and you can be in that season for like 6 to a year, 6 months to a year. Say someone meets you during that season of your life. So there you get invited to a barbecue, and people are asking you, you know, what do you do for a living? And you're like, you know, I'm kind of like really in between jobs. Like I'm kind of struggling. Like I don't really know what I want to do, right? And so that's their perception of you. Automatically, they're like, oh, they're a bum, or oh, they're in between jobs, or oh, they're not a determined person. They're kind of like just like living off of people's couches, not knowing that maybe you are in a season where you're just trying to like figure yourself out, right? But they see you as that. So if you in that state, if they run into you again and you still don't have a job, but you're like, you know what? The last time I saw you, I actually figured out that I want to go after being a singer. I want to actually become a producer and create music, or I want to actually become an artist, or I'm going to go back to school and become a lawyer. When they see you, their perception of you is going to, like, the energy, either A, depending on their maturity, they might be actually really excited for you. But most of the time people are like, oh, well, aren't you struggling? Or aren't you kind of like in between? Like, you know, are you sure you want to go after being a lawyer? I mean, shouldn't you get like a little 9-to-5 or something easy before you like just start to go back to school? Or don't you want to become like, you want to be an actress, or, you know, you want to go after becoming a director? Like, why don't you just kind of maybe go apply at Trader Joe's, or go apply at the grocery store? And like, instead of doing that, like, you need to make money. Like, they just start projecting on you, because they're not you. If they were in your position, they would be really struggling on that level. They wouldn't be able to have the go-getter spirit. They wouldn't be able to have the embodying their next pursuit spirit. They wouldn't be able to have that expansive mindset. They wouldn't be able to trust and have their faith in God and actually live inside. Not, oh, I have faith in God. It's like, no. Faith is an extension of God's being, and you are inside of it. Like, you are inside of faith in God. And you're like, well, I just have this nudge. I just know it's going to work out. Are you sure? Right? So what I want to say is that this is the time for you to break out of that. Like, it is, if whether you need to give yourself permission, or maybe you might need a coach like me to kind of just give you that nudge. Who cares what you're known for? Who cares that you're only known for being working 9 to 5, being a single mom? Who cares that you're a single father with, you know, 3 baby mamas, and you work a 9 to 5, but you still want to pursue something really great, right? Like, who cares what you're known for? People, it's almost like when you can unlock what people think, it's like the sky's actually the limit. You actually become unstoppable. And this is what I love. If anyone is in here 30 and under and you're really scared about aging, this is the beauty of headed for the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. When you say you don't care, you actually like really don't. Like, let's be honest. How many of you have said, oh, I don't even care? And then you like go on and you rant about it for 2 more hours. It's like because you actually like, it actually really stung, and you're trying to tell yourself you don't care, but you actually like do care, you know? Let me see what you guys are saying. My husband does this to me all the time. Right. It's all good, Ciana. Take your time. Okay. Hello, you are very beautiful. I appreciate that. Oh, you're from Iraq. Welcome. Much love from Mastermind Alliance Publishing Group in Houston. Awesome. I'm back. I was cooking. Faith in God enough to step out on faith. Exactly. And people don't really understand that. Faith in God, right? Step out on faith. In and on. Not like this fluffy, like, oh, I'm like, I have faith, you know? It's like you are inside of this protection of faith. You are walking on, you are in faith. Like, when you step out, you're not stepping on the pavement. You're not stepping out to the dirt. You're not stepping on the stairs. You're not stepping on the brick. You're stepping on God's faith. Like, people don't really like break that. They don't really like understand what they're saying when they say that. And I just had some revelations recently about that. Like, when it's like, oh, I'm having faith in this, and then it's like something still bugs you, or something is still, you know, I'm going to turn on the air, guys. It's hot today. So hopefully it doesn't interfere with the sound. But like, if you're going to step out on faith, you should not worry about it. There's nothing to worry about. If you are worried, then you are not on faith. You are not in God's faith, right? It says walk by faith, like, not walk by faith like it's distant. Like, no, you're taking the being, God's beingness of faith, and you're taking the hand. Here's faith. Here's you. You're walking by faith. Like, you're walking. Like, you know, you're going to walk next to your mom or your dad for protection. Like, when you're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, walk by your mom. Like, get next to your mom, get next to your dad, get off the sidewalk. Like, there's danger. Walk by your dad. It's the same thing. It's walk by faith. Like, grab the beingness of God in faith, right? So it's like, I think that we really need to like truly study these words and what we're actually just spewing out comfortably. And that's a good point about faith. When we circle it back around to what you're known for, they don't have the faith. You do. They don't have the faith. Literally. Like, there was a time, you guys, when I was in college, I was, of course, like most people, you know, broke as a joke. Okay. And, you know, just literally living off of like, you know, I had like just enough just to be able to like have gas, like get to work. And like, I was getting paid $6.25 from my dad. I worked for my dad, actually. And, you know, I mean, technically, if I was like down in the dumps, you know, I would be able to like ask my mom or dad for extra money. Right. But I was 18, I was working, right? I remember I had about $3 in my bank account. Like, I was like, ooh, I mean, at least I have food from the dorms, and like, I can study, you know? Out of nowhere, you guys, I was like, I'm just gonna have faith, right? I'm just gonna have faith. And I actually let it go. I don't know. I think what happens is sometimes when you're so broke or you're so down that you literally only can rely on faith. Like, you're like, well, it's either faith or the street. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just, and in this instance, I knew it was either faith or, you know, just moving back home with my mom or moving in with my dad or whatever, right? But, so out of nowhere, this girl comes up to me. She goes, hey, Ciana, don't you have like good grades? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you know, I think that you'd be really good. I'm walking to class, just walking to class. She taps me on the shoulder and she's like, hey, you know, don't you have good grades? Not to be in your business. I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like, yeah, well, there's interviews going on right now for an academic scholarship, and they're only picking a couple of people. And I'm like, well, whatever, I have nothing to lose, right? So I go in for the interview. I get the academic scholarship. Like, I was 18 years old, walking around the hot campus. Fresno is super hot. I'm walking to class. I'm hot. I got $3 in my account. I'm just like, I don't want to study, you know, and it was like, there was some other personal things going on. Like, it was just like not a good week. Right. And she's like, yeah, you should interview for it. And I'm like, okay, I go. I think I had like on like a brown t-shirt and like some jeans, and like minimal makeup and like my hair. I just was like, sure. And then I literally went to the interview. I think I even said it. I was like, oh yeah, someone had actually suggested that I do this. You know, I didn't know how to interview. I'm 18. And I just answered from my heart. I answered from my heart. You know, the questions, I was 18. I had nothing to lose, literally. And I got the academic scholarship. So my entire college job, or my entire college, was paid for. I don't have any student loans, none of that. I graduated, I have a business marketing degree, and I don't have any student loans. because I was walking inside of faith. I wasn't walking in faith. I was walking in the bubble, in the being of faith. Like, you know, when you're out at an amusement park and you're just having a blast and you like are exhilarated and you're like in the fun, you're in it, like you're in the roller coasters, all the candy, all the popcorn, all the kettle corn, all the, you know, cotton candy, like you're in the fun. It's the same thing with being in faith. Not just in faith. I'm like so I just was walking. I just was like, I don't know what to do. Well, worst case scenario, I could just like, you know, I guess live with my dad, but I was like happy to live in the dorms, right? I'm like, oh, I'm in the dorms. Like, I don't want to leave dorms. I'm having fun in the dorms. Oh, I don't want to like move back with my mom and then like have to transfer. Like I was spiraling, right? Like most of us do. So bottom line is, if you have a vision for your life, and you're inside of God's faith, you know it. Even though your reality isn't reflecting it to you or anybody else, you know that this is for you, right? You know it. When you start to move in that direction and people are kind of like, oh, what are you doing? Or where are you going? Or, you know, what are you researching? Or what are you doing? When you get like the side eye or the hater kind of look, or the kind of like, are you sure? Just know that it's because they don't have the level of faith in your vision like you do. So just let it roll off. Let it roll off. Let it roll off. So for example, people, like if I were to tell people, that girl that ran into me, she knew me as a manager. She has no way. She never knew my story, right? Like I was her manager. I think she quit before I quit that job. So she probably, for all she knows, she could think that I was still at that company. You know, the story of the girl that I bumped into. So if I were to have told her, I'm going to quit and I'm going to actually make money online, she would have just looked at me confused. She would have no idea that I actually ended up making more money via the internet than I did being a district manager, right? And so can you. So can you. If you are feeling nudged to start a YouTube channel, if you're feeling nudged to start an online business, and you can see it for yourself, like, you know, or maybe you love your 9-to-5, but you know that you're capped out, like you can't make any more money at your 9-to-5, or maybe you're going to have to, you know, every year you just have to wait for the yearly bonus, or you have to wait for the 5% increase, right? You can level your life up today. Your own digital ebook. Like you can literally go on Google and type in how to create your own ebook. I created mine. It's how I lost 30 pounds and never gained it back. I make sales on that every single day. Just a simple ebook guide, right? And I make sales doing affiliate marketing and doing other things, but just for the sake of this example, I lost 30 pounds. I never gained it back. And people might say, well, Ciana, you always talk about that ebook, because it actually worked. It's almost like saying, how often should you help people? If someone were to ask you that, and it's like, well, you should always help people, right? Always, specifically the word always. Well, yeah. Okay. So I talk about this ebook because it actually transformed my life. I have not gained that 30 pounds back, and most people yo-yo diet and yo-yo gain weight. I lost 30 pounds and it never came back. Okay. So someone could shut you down. You might have an idea to write an ebook. You might have an idea to create a course. You might have an idea to create a blueprint. You might have an idea to create a cooking class. You might have an idea to start coaching online for basketball for young boys and girls. And then because people can't see it for themselves, their job is to kind of, it's almost like, think about it like this. Think about it like it's a test. Like think about it like it's a game. If you can just get past someone hating on you, it's almost like, okay, you really are serious about doing what you desire. You really are serious about it, because you're still going after it despite not having that much support, despite no one else having faith, right? So that means you really do have faith if you're willing to go after it. So that's what I did when I quit. I gained I gained those 30 pounds because of that job. I quit that job. I lost that weight actually while I was at that job, but that's another story. But I wrapped up what I did in an ebook, and it's available. If any of you want to lose the 30 pounds, never gain it back, it is a beautiful formula, and it's actually an anti-inflammatory detox way that I did it. It wasn't, now that I look at it now with all the information that I know now and the knowledge that I have now, I'm like, that's why I lost the weight. I thought it was because of like the typical, calories in, calories out workout, kind of the brain way of losing weight. No, it's a lifestyle of health, anti-inflammatory, and detoxing that is all up and through my book. So if anyone's interested, that's down below. But I'm also creating, it's almost done. I'm editing it myself. I'm doing it all myself because I want it to be a certain way. But how you can create your own ebook. You don't have to wait for me. You can actually just type in how to create my own digital product and how to sell it, right? But if you don't want to go through all the research, like, so the way that the ebook is or the ebook course is launch a day. Launch your ebook in one day and make a sale that night. You start the course in the morning, you could technically upload your link to any one of your Instagrams or Facebooks or whatever and be ready to sell your product. So it's going to be launch in a day. Okay. So just be prepared for that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Right. Walking by faith and not by sight, because your own sight will block you every single time. Exactly. And it's like, because walking by faith is you operating in the supernatural. Walking by sight is you operating in the natural. So when you're in the natural, yeah, I mean, it's like you look at your bank account, you see what you see. You look at, your surroundings, you see what you see. You look at your car, you look at your house, you're like, okay. But faith is actually seeing through the lens of the supernatural. So it's already sitting there for you. There's just some things that need to get shifted around. There's things that you need to work on. There's maybe people that need to be outside of your life for those blessings to start to come down. And you want to actually thank that process, because there was moments, you guys, that I got blessings in the last 2 years that if I would have got those blessings 5 years ago, I would have fumbled the bag. I would have fumbled it. So I had to become more mature. I had to become a better steward. I had to level up in the way that, just some things that used to be important to me are not important to me now, right? So that you want to thank the process, because how many times do we find that people are, they skyrocket, and then just as quick as they skyrocket, they fall flat on their face, right? Just as quick as they become rich, they become flat broke, right? Because they didn't have the consciousness. They didn't have the wherewithal to be able to maintain the level, the weight of the blessing. So bottom line is, to circle back, just because you're known for what you're known for does not cap you there. It does not cap you there. So if you want the body of your dreams, if you want to have an online influence, if you want your own online community, if you want to become an actress, a director, if you want to go back to school and be a lawyer, like, you can do it. And everybody that's not going to be on the ride with you can fall off. And not in a bad way. It's like, it's kind of like, there's not many of us that have friends from kindergarten. You might have had a blast for kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And then like that was a season of when you guys connected in this life, right? So it could be that, right? There's people that come across now and they're like, oh my gosh, Ciana, you're so insightful, or you I never knew you were like this. It's because they met me like at a day party in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, they met me when I was like 26 years old at a day party. Where I'm at now, like, my wisdom, my maturity, where I'm headed in life, my purpose, my craft, my gift, building this community. It's like eons of a difference from meeting someone at a casual day party and you have a chit chat, like, like a basic chit chat. So it's like their perception would be like, oh, and depending on their maturity, they could say, oh, well, like, what are you trying to do? Like, they have that one perspective of you, and they're going to try to keep you down in that perspective. And like, they could either break out of that perspective and go on with you, or they can stay there. They could stay there, right? Like, we're always going to be evolving. We're always in pursuit of embodying that next level. We're all like, we're embodied with something. And now what's the next? So for me, for example, I've embodied knowing how to sell online. Now I'm like, okay, I want to create a course, right? Like I've been selling online for the last 3 to 4 years. Now I'm going into the course thing because I was kind of turned off by the course stuff, but the way I was like, oh, I could do it my unique way, like actual real, like you really will get the result, not like selling people something and it's a scam. Like you guys have seen me online for 5 years now. You can, and if you just met me, scroll all the way down to the bottom of my page. I've been on YouTube posting for 5 years. It's nothing but realness and authenticity over here. Okay. So so I'm like, oh yeah, I can just create my courses from an authentic, real, like if you were sitting next to me and it's like, okay, girl, let's do this. Like we're going to get you done. We're going to get you your own digital product by the end of today. That's how I made the course. It's like, you feel like you're doing it with me. It's not like a bunch of like worksheets and like basic little trashy little videos that like is like a voiceover, an AI voiceover, and then I package that up and sell it. That's whack. So I was turned off, by the course thing, but I'm like, no. I can basically like, I got out of my own way with the course thing. So now I'm going into courses, right? So I've already embodied how to make money online. Now let me stretch myself. Let me go to the next pursuit of the next embodiment, right? And then embody that. So now you guys are kind of seeing me in that realm. Also with the coaching, I'm going to be offering voicemail coaching where you have voicemail access to me. And it's really cool. I'll announce it when it's set up, but pretty much you can send me a voicemail. Because, sometimes like you guys ask me questions, but it's like you wish you could really elaborate and be like, oh, I wish I could just tell Ciana my whole story. Well, you'll be able to do that in voicemail form. You pour your little heart out, and then you can even send me a video or a picture of what you're talking about. And then I will respond back to you and in depth. About what you have going on. It'll be a package where you can ask 3 questions, voicemail form, and then I would just respond to you within 48 hours. So would anyone actually be interested in that? Does that sound like something that someone would like? It not, if you don't need it, you don't need it, but like, does that sound like someone would be down to do that? Because the whole like Zoom call thing and us like talking on a Zoom call, I kind of want it to feel like more on your time, right? Like on your time, like you could be waking up at 3 in the morning and be like, I'm really ready to hash out this problem. Like, let me go ahead and just send Ciana this voicemail right now. And then hopefully in the next 24 to 48 hours, she can respond to me, right? Sometimes like when we get to like 2 o'clock, Zoom call, it's like you're not even in the mood to really dive into your problem. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like voicemail coaching, what is that? What do you guys think? I get it as in God gave only you that vision and not anyone else. So of course they're not going to believe it because God only gave you that vision as your goals and dreams. I truly admire you, Ciana. You are definitely a brilliant woman. Thank you so much. Illustrious Jones. I like that name. I agree, because God takes us through these lifetime storms to actually make us 100% ready for the blessings that we always wanted. Because without those storms we wanted, wouldn't know what to exactly. And in the storm, inside of the storm is when you are actually giving birth to the gifts. Like it's almost like when you go to war, you need certain armor, right? Like you need your armor, you need your sword, you need, your face covering, you need certain shoes, you need certain like gear under the, there's all this gear, right? That we see a lot of people in the military have. So it's like that. It's like, if you're going to go, and then people don't just go from the street to the army, like to war, like from walking their dog. And it's not like, okay, hey, you got to go to war. And then they literally put the dog back in the house and get on the plane and go to war. Like you have to go through a training period, right? And it's tough. It's hard. People don't make it. They drop out. They drop out of the training period. I know people that have tried to go after being a police officer, tried to go after being a firefighter, dropped out. I actually know people that it's difficult. Like when you're actually going to go to battle, you're going to go to war. So it's almost like, think about it on that level. Like anyone that's kind of belittling you, smacking you back down, smacking your dreams back down, look at that like it's a little miniature simulation of like you're in a simulator and you're like, okay, I have to overcome this. I could either do one of two things. I could shrink back down and not actually get Ciana's course, because I actually do want to create my own digital guide, or I can get it and then be making $1,000 at the end of the week. Literally. Like, having your own course, you could be making an extra $1,000, an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month, on top of keeping your 9 to 5. If you love your 9 to 5, then once you have multiple ebooks and you create your own course, you have the option to quit if you want to. You don't have to quit, but you have the option to quit. So now you have a YouTube channel, your own website, because not only the course that I'm coming out with, by the end of the course, you'll also have your own website, your own domain name, your own website. I believe everybody should have their own name as a in website form. Everybody. That's my opinion. So you'll have your own website. You can name it your name, or you can name it something else. It's totally up to you. You'll be protected through copyright. You'll be able to upload your book ready for purchase that night, launch in a day. And so someone could say, oh, Ciana's just trying to sell you something. Or you could say, you know what? I'm really going to step out on faith. I see all of Ciana's over 3,000 videos. This is the first time she's ever really been pushing a course. Anytime she's actually talked about something, I actually learned something. I'm going to go ahead and step out on faith, and I'm going to get her course. And you know what? I do believe in myself. I do want to actually have $1,000 extra a month, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 extra a month. Like, I believe in myself for that. You shouldn't have to wait till you're 55 and now you're at the top level of the company to now have the highest salary, you're capped out, and then you still can't make any more money, because now it's like the company can only have a certain level of a budget. Like, when I was working at my last job as a district manager, I remember specifically being told, I was the newest one out of our district in LA. There was 10 district managers. I was the newbie. I just became a district manager. I remember our yearly review, my regional manager, so my boss, was like, you literally have great numbers. Your staff loves you. You're running your district extremely well, but I have to give you a doing well instead of an excellent, because I'm only allowed to give out 2 excellents. Like, I'll get in trouble if I give out multiple excellents, because it pretty much makes it seem like they're not a tough enough boss if they give out 8 excellence to all of their 10, out of 8 excellence out of 10 district managers. So I just remember hearing that and being like, because of the politics of the company, I have to get a doing well because I'm the newest little baby district manager. Do you see what I'm saying? And I just remember being like, this is trash. And I had just gotten an outstanding when I was a general manager. So when I was a step lower, I had gotten an outstanding. So because I got in the outstanding, which is the highest level, I got promoted to being a district manager. So after being a district manager for about 8 months, the yearly review came up and they were like, yeah, we only can give out we only can give out 1 outstanding, 2 excellence, and then everybody else has to just get a doing well. So it was very political, like how they had to do stuff. And I just was like, this is just whack. I'm already capped. So if you don't want to stay capped, create an online business, start making money online. And it's fun. It's fun to create. Look at, I'm on my way to get water. I'm on my way to get water right now, you guys. And I'm talking about helping you guys, make some money, expand your mind, March mindfulness, right? Like, it's fun. This is fulfilling. So I really want you guys to ponder on that. Let's see. Corporate reminds me of grade school. You do good and you get little. Exactly, Richie. You ever thought about becoming a preacher, Ciana? Because you're extremely good at breaking it down, and I feel the anointing on you. I would not be surprised if in my future something like that became manifest. I wouldn't be surprised. But I appreciate you seeing that in me. I appreciate that a lot. But it's so true. It's like corporate reminds me of, and then it's like, really, I'm a grown adult and I'm getting a little, good job. Okay, be back tomorrow and work for 10 hours. Work till you guys, I gained I was so unfulfilled at that job. I would get up in the morning, be super tired because I was tossing and turning, having anxiety about not wanting to go to the job. Then I would drive 2 hours, call another district manager and complain the whole time because we both hated the job. You know, a lot of us did actually. That's what we did. It was like we were all there and hated it. Like, it was kind of like it was kind of like not healthy when you think about it. So I'm there, or I'm on the way to work. I'm getting a caramel macchiato filled with 1,000 calories and like a croissant breakfast sandwich every morning. So I was sitting for 2 hours, complaining, eating a bunch of sugar, eating a bunch of carbs, getting to work, feeling so drained and feeling like, oh my gosh. The only thing that I liked was working with people, but I didn't like the actual work, like what I was actually doing, like what the company stood for. It just wasn't me. So I was just like, this is the most unfulfilling job. I can't even believe that I'm here. Gained a bunch of weight. I would get off work, try to go to the gym. But eventually I lost the zeal for the gym. So even though I would go, I would just be like already thinking about the next day, like, gosh, I got to go back. I got to talk about these numbers. I got to talk about why this didn't happen. I got to come up with some repetitive banter. I got to, you know, get on a manager about this. I got to deal with, like, it was just like a hell. Like, I don't know. It just was like, is this my life? Like, did I graduate college to like, and then what was hard, you guys, is that everybody's like, well, this is just life. Like, this is part of life. Like, you graduate high school, you graduate college, then you go to a job you hate. Like, this is what life is. Congratulations reminds you. Oh yeah, so I already read that. So you guys, like, and then I just one day was like, I'm not signing on to this. I was like, I'm not signing on to this. And I just quit. And people were so lost. You guys, people thought I was having a like an actual mental breakdown. Like, people thought I was losing it. People were like looking at me funny. And what did I do? I quit. I traveled to Egypt. I traveled to China. I traveled to the UK. I traveled to different islands. I traveled to several states in the United States. I was living my best life. And while they're over there like, Ciana's, oh my God, like she has benefits and she has a 401k and she has a company card and a company gas card. Now I have my own company. I have my own LLC, right? I have my own business online, which I have access to those benefits. I have access to a business credit card. I have access to business credit. I have access to, I have my own I learned, guess what? I don't need the 401k because I created 3 of my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to buy and sell stocks on my own. I know how to, because I had the time to sit and learn this stuff. Instead of like getting off work and going to a happy hour with coworkers and complaining about my life and gaining 30 pounds. And then not only am I not liking, and I hope that some of you guys are resonating with this. This is not a rant about Ciana. It's more so like what the average American is going through, right? Like the average American of just like, well, you're just supposed to gain weight as you get older, and you're just supposed to hate your job, and you're just supposed to get unhealthy, and you're supposed to not learn anything. It's like, no, instead of relying on the 401k, I learned how to actually buy and sell my own stocks. And now I know how to do that. Now I know how to invest in ETFs. Now I know how to create a dividend portfolio. Now I know how to do calls and puts. Now I know how to invest in certain stocks for growth. Now I know how to try to discover the next Amazon type of stock, the next Tesla type of stock. Like, I know how to do that now because I actually quit, got out of my own way, everyone knew me as a district manager. Everyone knew me as that. So, well, what are people going to know me for now? Right. So people had to I had to really deal with a lot of people like kind of talking about me behind my back and making fun of me behind my back when I would work like serving jobs or like going from a district manager and then going to work gig type of jobs in LA. but not knowing that I had a bigger vision. I wasn't going to stay working at a gig job, and the gig jobs were fun. That's the thing. I was meeting dope people. I was making connections. I was networking when I was going to these events. Someone might be like, oh, you quit a district manager job and now you're working as like a brand ambassador for like a gig. Well, yeah, I'm technically making more a day than I like, because when you sign up with certain companies, you can actually make a lot of money doing gig work in LA. I'm having fun. It's not stressful. I'm losing weight. I'm networking and I'm building my business, and I'm able to be a caregiver for my grandma. But from the outside, they're trying to smack me down like, oh my God, she'll never be able to make that much money again. She'll never be able to. And now 15 years later, who has their own business? Who has a community, which I love and adore? I get fulfilled every day. It doesn't even matter what number's in my bank account. I don't feel like I want to go to a happy hour and get hammered because I hate my job. I love pouring into people that need my services, my help. And again, really my services are for free because I go on here, 4 times a week, maybe 2 to 3 hours, at least 1 to 3 hours a day. When I go on here, we're already at 46 minutes. So it's like I give free coaching every week. I could charge, I could, I do have my memberships. You think that these conversations are good? We go even deeper on my memberships. So for anyone who wants to become a member, I'm able to get to know you more. You can also become a member on YouTube. It's like $5.99 a month. So you guys, it's like, it all is because I believed I had faith. I believed in what God was nudging me to do. God was like, Ciana, just get out of your own way. Who cares what people think? Who cares that people are going to, who cares? You might actually go broke. You might actually not make that as much money as you were as a district manager for a couple years. Yeah. But where you're losing in the natural, you're gaining in the supernatural. I was gaining more skills. I was gaining experiences. I was gaining my confidence back. I was gaining, recognizing myself when I looked in the mirror and was like, I need to get this 30 pounds off. I'm not going down the same road. I'm the generational curse breaker when it comes to my health, right? Like, my mom could have probably been super fit at the same age as me, but she didn't have the resources or even the belief system to be able to try to go for it. Same with my dad. Both my parents were obese at my age. Right? So some people are like, oh, it's genetic. No, it's not genetic. I actually, this is because I had the will to go after it. Like, I trusted in God's will to go after it. God will prove your haters wrong every time, but only you are doing your part. Exactly. AP says, amen. Illustria says, those getting old supposed to only exist if they allow it. Yep. Wonderful. ETF dividends are consistent even when stocks are low. Exactly. Thank God for my smart friend. Exactly. It's like I wouldn't have been able to even care to learn about ETFs if I was so stressed out at a job that I hate. If anyone is on, I don't know who, this is for you. If you don't like your job, you don't have to be at your job. You were not born as in God's image with limitless creative potential to be at a job where you literally have anxiety going to work. You literally have gained so much weight because of going to work. You are in agony when you have to work with certain people that you do not want to be around. You were not born to be in hell on earth. You don't have to be there. Come up with a game plan. Come up with a 6-month game plan like I did. And quit in 6 months. Save up, scale back your life for right now. Quit in 6 months. Or stop going out on the weekend. Stop wasting your time when you get off work at 5 or 6 o'clock at night and start your online business. I am on TikTok. Have you seen me on TikTok? I'm very active on TikTok. That's also another place where I sell a lot of products. And I have a blast. It's so fun selling products. See, Holly, look at God. Holly's tapping in. She knows you from TikTok. She's tapping in over here in the Embody Pursuit tribe. Welcome to the Embody Pursuit tribe. I highly suggest that you subscribe to this channel. I'm more like, TikTok, TikTok shop, here's some cool products. Over here, we get deep. This is a self-development channel, and the self-development umbrella is health, mindfulness, wellness, and fitness. Okay, so we talk about food, we talk about mental health, we talk about all that kind of, like, that whole array of topics over here. So welcome to the community if that's what you're into. I have over 3,000 videos. You can look at all my videos. So for anyone else too that's new, and you're into this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. But I'm telling you, like, if I would have stayed, I would not be having this community right now. Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. You guys, I was in tears. I would look in the mirror and be like, I don't even know who I am. I even think I had like a tooth issue, and I remember begging my manager, like, I need to have time to like get this off. And it's like, well, it's Black Friday's coming up, and it was during Christmas time. And I remember just being like, I can't even go get my tooth fixed because like I have to worry about the stupid Black Friday sale. Like, how many of us are ignoring health conditions, ignoring health concerns, like having issues with, a family member that might need us, and we're putting the job before everything else as our body's breaking down. Like, it's literally like teeth falling out of the mouth, hair falling out, skin issues, digestive issues, just all kinds of weird issues going on. And you're like literally dragging your leg into the job, like, all right, let's talk about the numbers today, or let's hit these quota, while everybody else gets to take these vacations and go on yachts. And I was like, forget that, I want to go on a yacht now. So I did. I quit, started working different gig jobs, started becoming at the beginning, my grandmother her dementia wasn't as bad, like the first year or two that I quit. So I had more time. I would help out my grandma, drive her around, take her on her errands, take her on her doctor's appointments. Boom. I would go to my gig job. Then I would have like 4 or 5 days, and I'd be like, me and my best friend were like, let's go to Miami. Let's go to Vegas. While I already fixed my teeth. I mean, I didn't have a ton of teeth, concerns or whatever, but just like the normal cavity or whatever. But it's like, I had time. Let me learn how to create my own stock portfolio. Let me learn how to create a business. I quit because I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to like waste my life. I don't want to waste my life. Like, literally pouring out my amazing, youthful, radiant, vibrant, intelligent, unruly, ready to go, like, just like this, like, big, huge, massive amount of energy, and I'm pouring it and sucking it, like letting it suck out my energy like a vacuum to a corporate job. And then they get to thrive off of all of our energy. And it's like and then you see the CEO at the top get all the praise. And no hate on that. That's excellent. Hey, look, it takes a lot to get to the top like that. So no hate on what they had to do, but you don't have to do that in 2025. That I did grow up in an era where that was just kind of the norm, but I, as a millennial, had to shake myself out of that, and I did. And then now I get to get water on my time at a nice water shop, be on here with you guys, get sales. When I click out of the live, there will be sales, and I get to connect and really pour into this community. Like, I'm successful because I'm fulfilled every day. How did you get the gig jobs? So anyone, and I'm going to tell everyone this, write this down, because They are, I think they're international now. Productions Plus. It's called Productions Plus. Productions Plus. Type in the web. That's free game right there. I might even cut this part off of the live and put it under the memberships. But Productions Plus, I ended up making more money because I ended up getting a gig. It was like me and this other girl did such a great job doing this one particular contract that they extended the contract, and we were getting paid a really crazy amount, like above average amount. I'm just gonna put it like that. In Beverly Hills. So I was working as a Aston Martin representative, you know, the vehicle Aston Martin. And I met so many dope people because of the clientele that purchases those kinds of vehicles, right? I wouldn't have been able to do that going inside of a box, working a 9 to 5. The gig jobs, like when you do the gig jobs, you got to think bigger. Like when you do, even if you're a server or you do gigs, you got to think, okay, I'm networking today, right? Who can I meet today? Or having your business going. That way, when you're meeting people out doing these gig jobs, you can give them your business card, make a sale, get a client, right? Like you got to think bigger so that's what I was doing. So I had this whole Rolodex of all these people that I was meeting in Beverly Hills that was shopping and checking into the hotel and getting an Aston Martin to drive around the city in. And that's what I was like, servicing that. So it's like, I was having fun. You know, I wasn't necessarily living my purpose then, but I was like able to rediscover my excitement for life, like my zeal for life, like my, you know, just connecting with people, networking, just like kind of like decompressing from the stress of a corporate job. And I couldn't believe, like, there's pictures of myself where I look really aged. And I was like, whoa. Let's see. Girl, always with her phone or my GoPros, I'm recording something. Yes. With your tooth, did you abscess and work through that? Wow, you truly are a beast. No, I think I just had like a cavity, but it was like getting bad, and I just could not get the time off. And you know how it's like, you know, the dentist office is open during when you're working a 9 to 5, and it was like during Black Friday, and they're like, no, well, can you like make your appointment like in 2 weeks? And I'm like, my tooth hurts. You know what I mean? I'm like 26, 27. I'm like, my tooth hurts. Like, I want to get my tooth fixed. Like, and I just remember being like, I'm having to deal with a job I don't like. There's people that I don't enjoy working with. Some people I loved working with. But then there were some people I'm like, that's a part of life though. So that was just teaching me how to have emotional intelligence, right? Like every season that you're in is going to teach you something. Like there is a benefit to every season, even though it may not feel like it at the time. But I was like, you know, I had a couple of bosses. It was a no. One I loved. But at the time I was like, my tooth hurts. This boss, I don't even like working this hard for a boss, to where when I'm working, I'm literally doing blood, sweat, and tears. The numbers are going to come out good. And then my boss gets the glory from her boss. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you're undervalued, you're underpaid, you're breaking down, you're falling apart, teeth falling out your mouth. Like you can't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like get your tooth fixed. You have to schedule that out. But today, if I wanted to I don't have any teeth issues, but if I wanted to go get my tooth fixed today, I could go. But I had to take the leap of faith when I quit, right? Everybody was like, no, don't quit your job. And I was like, I'm doing it. That was me at ASM at Starbucks. Look, and I don't want to like, it's weird because like, it was like I now look back and it was like God needed me to kind of have some structure to kind of like mold me. But I just think it's sad that like millennials and up think that that's it for them. And it's not. I'm a millennial that broke out of the matrix of that. You do not have, if you love your job, this isn't for you. If you love your job, this is not for you. Okay, this is for the rest of us that really don't like what we're doing every day. Right, I got you. I was saying, because when I had my abscess, I felt like I felt like I was giving birth to a baby. It's not a joke. And then it's like, when you have a toothache, you can't like, you know, my arm is still like, it's getting better, but I need to just kind of like not work out for a week, to be honest. But I can move my thumb. Before I couldn't move my thumb. But it's like, I can, you know, put something on it. I can rub it, you know, and like put ice on it. But a toothache, you can't like rub it. You know what I mean? You can't like soothe it. You can maybe keep taking like ibuprofen and stuff like that, which is bad for you, which is really bad, to just keep popping like Tylenol and stuff. So, I just, even talking about the story, it's like, I feel like just the memory, I just was like, oh my, and I had to like deal with Black Friday with a toothache, with the boss I didn't like. I'm over here gaining hella weight. Like, I just was like, what? Where did my I was like, how did my life end up like this? Oh my gosh. I hear you I hear you and empathize with your whole corporate experience. I have been in the military, and I worked for the state government. I have worked for corporate, and I own my own business, and it's all tough. Yeah. Choose your hard. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to put it, Richie. Like, don't get it twisted. The entrepreneurial route was very challenging, but it was like I was fulfilled being challenged, because I was doing something that God was nudging me to do. I was building this community. I was helping out my grandma. I was coaching and developing other people. I'm currently the COO of a nonprofit, and I was a serious life coach for the CEO. Right? I've been a life coach for several people, like in my real life. So, but I was fulfilled. So it's like, yeah, you know, some months I didn't make that much money, but like what made up for it was the fact that I just felt like good about my life. I just felt good when I woke up. And I think people are so attached to the number of the amount of money, but like hate their life. And it's like, God didn't design it to be like this. At least in my opinion. You're an amazing teacher. My mind has been renewed, like Romans 12:12 or 12:2, because of what you said the other day. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. We just made an S today. What's the S? We just made an S today. 2 days. Let's see. I had a toothache that I still don't talk. You still don't talk about? Yeah. If you like, woo, yeah. And then having to work through that. Yeah, you have to take 2 weeks off. I do. I know. I do. I just, I'm gonna pray about it. I went to the dentist and got an antibiotic. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. When you got a toothache, you will literally, I was going to say something really crazy, but you will literally like knock an old lady out to like move her out of the way so you can get to that pain medication. Like, it's like, it's not a joke when you have tooth pain. It's not a joke. It's like, and it pierces and it goes into the nerve, and it's just like, oh my googly oogly. Oh, and S is a oh, okay. Okay, thank you. The Gen Zers know all the new lingo, so you got to teach us, Motion. You got to teach us millennials and up in here. How do you stay motivated every day? You know, what's interesting is that I'm not motivated every day. But what propels me forward is that I'm living in my purpose. So I wake up and I'm like, boom, purpose driven. God, what do you got me working on today? And then some days I'm motivated and then some days I'm not, you know, but the actual like gas, like what's like the gas in my tank is that I'm the fulfillment from knowing that I'm living in my purpose and I'm growing in my gift. Even when days and weeks are a little tough, you know, some days and weeks I'm not making any sales. it's almost like then later on, all of a sudden, I'll have an amazing month in sales, and it kind of makes up for that little time period. So when you are on the entrepreneurial journey, it does, like, you do grow this grit and these kind of like, yeah, you just really learn how, you get forced to learn how to walk in faith, to be honest. But yeah, motivation is not what keeps me going. Motivation is not what keeps me going. I mean, I know I might have loosely said that, but like in my past lives, but as I'm growing and developing and becoming more embodied with learning how to really coach and get the message across clearly, it's not the motivation. You can get motivation to get you, like, to kind of kick, like, kind of like, when you like need a jump, on your car, like, you can maybe look at some videos of mine or look at some videos of some other amazing creators out there and get motivation. But when you're like, it's kind of like, it talks about this in the Bible, but when you study the ant, it's like the ant has no motivation. It just is on its purpose. Like, and the ant, it's determined, it has a good pace, it's like, it's in motion. It's very disciplined. It doesn't matter if it's tired or not. Like, it's just you keep going, right? I believe, Ciana, your kids are, I believe, Ciana, your kids are your biggest motivation. I don't have any, but my nieces and nephews are my motivation. I don't have any children. Well, I do have children in the supernatural. They're going to come down to the natural in God's time. But yes, I haven't given birth to any of my own children yet, but I love my nieces and nephews. And I'm doing what I have to do to set myself up, my future children up. Because I want to be that's a whole nother topic. Oh my God, don't get me started. I don't have enough gas left in the car right now to be able to like keep the air on to like, but that's a whole nother conversation. For my personal goals, I would want to be able to be at home with my children while they're kids. I would not want to put them in a daycare. So like being able to sell things online, I would be able to run a business and be able to be a mom. Like it's a perfect scenario. But like going and working a 9 to 5 and then dropping my child off at a daycare where the daycare is like soaking up all those amazing, super cute moments. Like they're only like a baby, like a child from like 1 to 5. And then after that, they kind of like want to be with their friends and like it's just different. Like I see it in my nephew. He's called me before. He was 3 at the time when he would call me a lot and I'd be on these lives. But like he's already different at 4. He's already a different little boy at 4. I don't want the daycare to like get those moments. Like I want to get those moments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's just me. That's just like some dreams and hopes and desires of my own. No hate on any mothers that have to drop their baby off. Thank God my mom was a single mom, but my mom had the blessing of my grandma. My grandma actually quit her job to take care of me because she was like, it was either my grandma had to quit or my mom would have to like, it was just some kind of weird scenario where like my grandma she could not fathom me being inside of a daycare. So she quit her job to watch me while my mom went to work. So, and I benefited from that. I benefited from being with my grandma every day as opposed to being with like a stranger. And there's some amazing caretakers for children. Like they're really, I know we see disaster stories on the news all the time, but there's some, like one of my close friends from college, she runs a daycare and she runs an amazing daycare. So it's great that those services are there, and there's some good people that have a beautiful heart to be of service, to raise, to have toddlers, in like a little preschool while they're single parent, or maybe even 2-parent homes, but they don't make enough income to live off of one, so they need both. But again, that I can go off on a tangent. I don't want that for myself. So I designed it to not have it be that way. My niece is 5 and loves me to death. She goes crazy every time she sees me. Oh, I love it. They grow up so fast. I mean, and once they're teenagers, that's it. I mean, they're adults in training at that point, and they don't want to be around you. You know what I mean? I'm already seeing it with some of my nieces that are like 11 and 12. Like they want to do preteen stuff. So, I remember being a preteen and wanting to only be with my friends. I didn't want to hang out with any adults when I was a preteen. When I was 11, 12, 13, I was begging my mom to hang out with friends. I didn't want to hang out with her. Now my mom is my best friend. But like, I didn't want to hang out with my mom when I was 11, 12, 13. You know? So, all right, guys, I'm going to get this water. I'm going to get this water filled up. I have my big jug. I'm getting my alkaline water out of the Kangen machines at this place that I go to. And then I'm going to also get purified water. I'm trying to wash my face with purified water instead of like the water from like the faucet. But I am actually going to invest in getting a filter because my skin is really sensitive. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up, but I thank you guys for popping on. If you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. This is the realest, most authentic, chill channel, chill community, in my opinion, in the entire YouTubeosphere. Okay? We don't argue. We actually exchange ideas. We're connecting in here. It's relaxed. We're all growing together. You got to subscribe. If you really want to support this channel, please share your favorite video on your community tab. That's it. If you want to support this community, this tribe, this amazing Embody Pursuit tribe, just share your favorite TikTok, your favorite short, your favorite video, or your favorite live stream replay. Either one of those on your community tab, that would be amazing. All right, if you got a word today and you're like, oh, I kind of feel like I want to give back to Ciana, like this is a good live, this hit my spirit. The way you can, if you want to donate to the channel, donate with sharing one of the lives, one of the videos on your community tab. That's it. That would mean the world to me. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, oh, my hair looks really healthy. Wait, I'm probably reading that wrong. I like your hair. It looks very healthy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's really it. Thanks for tapping in, and we'll talk soon. Bye.